going on, folks? RazorMP here. Today I'm putting the Staccato 4.5 through its paces with the Fusion 1x30 red dot mounted on top. Quick heads up before we get started. I bought this combo myself with my own money, but I do work with Staccato. That said, nobody gets a free pass here. You're getting my honest take like always. I bought it, ran it hard, and I'm giving you the stuff that matters. Ergonomics, trigger control, recoil, real-world accuracy, and whether it's worth the coin for anyone serious about a competition-capable duty pistol. All the shooting you'll see was done safely in a controlled environment and in full compliance with YouTube's stupid guidelines that hate 2A content. This is purely for educational purposes only. The 4.5 is Staccato's way of stretching out their proven formula: longer grip, longer slide, and that extra sight radius that helps you hold your own when you start running those time drills. It's a bit heavier up front, maybe more so than the P4, and that extra weight though pays off. With the recoil impulse, it's flatter, the muzzle return is fast, and the sight picture stays calmer between shots. Up front, the 4.5 uses a non-reciprocating front sight block, basically a barrel-mounted sight base that holds the front sight post but doesn't move when the slide moves back and forth. That keeps the sight picture stable during recoil and contributes to the pistol's flat, consistent tracking shot after shot. Now, with the Fusion optic and a TLR1 weapons light installed, this pistol jumps up to a whopping 45.9 ounces. That is a serious chunk of gun. It's great for recoil control and accuracy, not so great if you're hoping for a lightweight carry option. Ergonomics are what you'd expect from Staccato. Pretty damn good. The grip texture walks the line between grippy and comfortable. The beaver tail sits just right, and that slight undercut lets you choke up without discomfort. Slide serrations are deep enough and purposeful, and the controls feel tuned. Nothing sloppy, nothing overly tight. The trigger is classic Staccato. Short, clean take up with a crisp wall and audible tactile reset. In my testing, the trigger consistently broke around 3 pounds and 10 ounces, light, predictable, and repeatable. Now personally, I would have liked to seen a flat face trigger on this one. I think flat shoes would give a better purchase for my finger, make it easier to control follow-ups, and change how that reset feels when you ride it. The trigger is excellent as is though, but I would like to see an aftermarket upgrade for that flat trigger solution. If you know of a solution, or if you've done one yourself on the HD line, please let me know down in the comments. Recoil management on this gun is solid. The extra slide length and weight soak up a lot of the snap. You can drive the dot through transitions, and the front sight doesn't dance around like it does on lighter pistols. I'd call it duty smooth, though maybe not competition light. Now, the optic, I went with the Fusion 1x30 because a dot can make or break the package. The team at Scottsdale Tactical actually turned me on to this particular optic. It sits low on the slide so you can co-witness easily. Like the rest of the HD line, the rear sight sits forward of the optic, so make sure to check your optic height and co-witness setup during installation. This one just fit perfectly. The window is the sweet spot for pistols, big enough to pick up fast with enough room to let you revert to irons without losing the sight picture. The Fusion behaves like a cross between an SRO and a holographic sight. It's fast, roomy sight picture with a rugged build. It includes multiple reticle choices and selectable dot sizes anywhere from 1 to 6 MOA, plus 10 brightness settings. It has everything from a triangle, a circle dot, a circle dot dot, a circle with some tick marks on it. It's got all kinds of stuff. You can also add the optional weather shield, which is a removable protective hood that turns the Fusion into an enclosed red dot for foul weather use. It's built tough, holds zero, and competes with higher end optics on durability and performance. Roughly about 500 Scooby snacks. That's a solid value without feeling cheap. Though I am not a fan of paying an extra $75 for that weather shield. I think that's something that should have been included, but that's just my opinion. And while we are on the subject of needless additional costs, I hate that you still have to buy a separate optic plate to mount your favorite optic, especially at this price point. That should also be included. Anyway, I'll have to do a full review on the Fusion itself. It does too much to cover properly here, and I want to put it through its paces in its own video, so stay tuned for that as well. Now, let's see how this dynamic duo performs on the range. At the range, this combo just works. Slow fire at 35 feet produced tight, consistent groups. In rapid strings, that dot barely left the A zone, and the reloads were smooth thanks to the generous magwell and smart grip geometry. No feeding or extracting hiccups in my session. It ran clean. I shot CCI 124 grain ammo through it without a hitch. Look, this isn't a compact carry pistol, so plan on a belt rig or a duty holster. With the Fusion and the TLR1 mounted, you're carrying nearly 46 ounces, so don't kid yourself about concealment. You need an optic cut, light capable holster and a stout belt. Concealment is doable if you dress for it, but realistically this is a range or duty gun first, though I have seen others actually EDC and XC, so anything is possible, I suppose. Now, some pros: phenomenal ergonomics, a superb trigger, reliable performance, excellent recoil control. It includes an active firing pin block, and it does not have a grip safety, all of which makes it easier to run fast with confidence. Now, some of the cons, of course, the size and the price. The 4.5 isn't a stealthy carry option, and it's not cheap. It also requires the standard optic plate to mount your favorite optic. That plate is not included, so factor that in when you're shopping. And heads up, if you ride a high firing hand grip on the beaver tail, the recoil can come into your thumb knuckle and give you a little knuckle bite during aggressive transitions. That's something to be aware of if you naturally shoot higher. Test it before you commit. Now, bottom line, Staccato did what Staccato does best. It produced a refined, purpose-filled handgun that doesn't need a bunch of after-factory or aftermarket band-aids for form. I reviewed the HD4 and the C36, and if I had to do it over again, I would keep the C36 and the 4.5. That gives me a compact EDC and a range blaster with the same familiar ergos and controls. The Fusion 1x30 red dot finishes the package. It's fast, durable, and honest. Now, price. Well, it's about 2,700 Scooby snacks. That's a pile of Scooby snacks, big enough to keep Shag and Scoob fat and happy in the mystery machine for quite some time. It's not cheap, and you will have to weigh if it's worth it to you. There are a lot of options these days, especially in this price range, so is it worth it to you? Now, some people believe that carrying a Staccato is a sign of confidence, a flex. While I agree that it can be a statement, I also think that it's important to consider whether it aligns with your lifestyle. After all, why spend a lot of money on a sports car like a Porsche when you can get from point A to point B in a more affordable Prius? Ultimately, that decision is yours to make. Now, what do you want to see this run up against? Drop your matchups in the comments. Staccato versus what? Compact versus 4.5. Let me know down there and I'll respond back and maybe start lining up the next test. Big thanks to my member subscribers for keeping this whole thing running, and to Scottsdale Tactical for always having my back. If you want the full parts list, holster recommendations, or an optic height comparison, say the word and I'll put those together from follow-ups. You can always find all that information in the parts list over at my webpage at www.razormp.com, where you can scan this helpful QR code right here on the screen. As always, I'll see you on the high ground or on the next video. RazorMP out.